Welcome to the Restoring Balance podcast, where two lifelong friends get together to rewatch and discuss why they love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jim. Today, we're discussing Book 1, Episode 9, The Waterbending Scroll. After we get Aang's freakout scene, we have our plan of what we're going to do for the episode, and Sokka is flying Appa. We're 9 episodes deep, and he's flying Appa like it's just casual, been here, done this.
Yeah, it's a subtle hint to how the group is becoming more and more cohesive. They spend some time with each other. I mean, in world, they've spent weeks together now, I think. So they're comfortable.
Who knows if they did the hopping llama stuff and all that.
I'm convinced. It's actually been months. They wasted all their time because they wrote all the hopping llamas.
And think about, too, in the first episode, Sokka was like standoffish about this. Chilling in Appa's saddle, arms crossed, like, no way this thing can fly. And now he's like,
flying him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally took the reins.
But that's funny too, because as soon as Sokka does experience that Appa can fly, he's so excited. Katara, big deal. He's flying.
Yeah, so Sokka touches them down into another beautiful vista. What we have, a waterfall, a stream. There's like beautiful rocky outcroppings, a forest around them.
I'm surprised other people weren't hanging out there.
It should be like a common watering hole for like a nearby village. Like people are like, let's go to the waterfall.
Right. Appa loved that water too. Oh my gosh.
He was basking in it.
He sure was. I mean, I don't blame him. Like you were talking about, it's a nice place, and he apparently has a whole bunch of like mud and bugs in his toes. So I mean,
why does he have so much mud and bugs in his toes? He's flying. He's not walking.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Like there should be mud and bugs in his face because he's flying right into him.
Yeah, just like a windshield.
Exactly. Maybe he uses his big old tongue to clean his face.
I mean, it's just being big and furry. Although they don't touch on that ever being a thing later in the show. It's just
fun, dude.
Yeah, it is fun. And Sokka is very nonchalant and accepting of this assignment that he's been given.
So, while you guys are playing in the water, I'm supposed to be hard at work picking mud out of a giant bison's feet?
Mud and bugs.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Got nothing better to do.
Here we go. Like sometimes at work, when we're teaching math to the kids, it'll be, oh, I have a question. And I'll just sarcastically be like, you mean to tell me you have a math question at a math learning center? And they're all just like, yeah. Like, all right then.
Okay, lay it on me.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah. I must say, Sokka, I do utilize the same approach in comedy. From there, we transition back over to our dynamic duo with Zuko and Iroh.
What is the meaning of this mutiny? Zuko immediately flips out. The ship turns by 4 degrees, and he's like, what's going on?
I might be more than 4 degrees. The whole group of people like chilling on the front of the ship are like, whoa, like losing their balance.
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah. And he grabs the side and he's like, who's changing our course?
It was Uncle.
I mean, for a very important reason, of course, as we saw.
I assure you, it is a matter of utmost importance, Prince Zuko.
Is it something to do with the Avatar?
Even more urgent. It seems I've lost my lotus tile.
Yeah, they take this opportunity to introduce Pai Sho, which turns out to be a pretty important game for the show. You know, I'm not going to lie, though. I think they could have incorporated it a little bit more. I think I could have used a little more mystery, a little more lead-in, like a few more puzzle pieces hidden throughout the show so that it's a bigger reveal when we find out about the order of the hidden lotus. Because in the end...
The what?
Huh? It's not?
What is it?
The White Lotus.
There you go.
Order of the White Lotus. Come on, dude. It was a hidden White Lotus, surely. They hid it so well that I forgot the name.
There you go.
Because we eventually find out, and spoilers, everybody, we've warned you, but I'll do it again, that a lot of the like leaders from around the Avatar world are members of this order that functions sort of like the Avatar to help keep balance. Their motivations are beyond their own nations. And so there's like Iroh on it, there's Boomy, there's the dude who taught firebending to Zhao.
Mm-hmm. You remember his name? He's from the episode The Deserter.
He's cool. He's just has a name and Z.
No.
Buh.
Starts with a J.
Zhong.
Master Zhong.
Master Zhong. Cool name too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame about the remembering. But these influential leaders are part of this order. But what if when we went to see Boomy, there was a White Lotus hidden, or like he played the game too? What if as part of one of the challenges?
True.
You know how commonly when there's trials, they love to have like a board game based one, like often centered around like chess or something.
Yeah.
Like what if one of the trials had to do with Pai Sho?
That would have been awesome.
And like the solution was White Lotus. And then when you went to visit Zhong, maybe his crest was a White Lotus. And then you have the episode now where Iroh goes out of his way and diverts his entire crew with his nephew who needs to get the Avatar for his honor just to get a White Lotus tile. I feel like we could have.
That would be cool.
We could have got this idea in there a little deeper for the payoff to be even greater later.
I think your point may have fallen in their lap later on, right? Because when we get Master Piandao in Sokka's Master episode, they take the time to show us in the background two mysterious aspects to the show, actually. Lion turtle statues and White Lotus imagery. His crest was the White Lotus.
Yeah, I knew they did a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a little more.
Yeah, I would have loved it. You're right. And Iroh, when he's breaking the news to Zuko about like, why he's changed the course, is just hilarious. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna believe this." You know, at least that's like the feel that he has. Like, I know this is crazy, but he's just like so dramatic about it.
Imagine me. Picture me right here trying to play Pai Sho with my crew, and yet there's no White Lotus.
I know, it's crazy. But rest assured that the solution is in place.
I'm lucky to have such an understanding nephew.
Yeah.
He's a little sarcastic, actually.
Yeah, he's definitely playing with it.
He's a little sarcastic. I'm noticing on our rewatch that I took it as him being like goofy, and I think he is a little goofy, but I took it more like he was like a little airheaded, probably on first watches. But like now, he's a little sarcastic.
Yeah,
like, kinda.
He definitely like takes advantage of his role within the situation sometimes, I think.
I could see it though, because he's a full-grown man. He's like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
And so he had a kid of his own that he raised. Like he gets how teenagers work, how they be really dramatic, and he doesn't take himself that seriously.
Yes.
So he's like messing around like you would do at the center with the kids, you know?
Yep. Same deal.
So like I start to see it now as I get older and as I watch the show more.
It makes me love him that much more every time I watch it again.
Yeah, because he teases him, but like with a genuine smile on his face. It's sort of like a teasing out of love. Because you can tease people and be mean.
It's the fact that he loves and knows him so well that he's even able to do this in the first place. And he really must be torn up too. Because just think, he's on this mission to get the Avatar, and he knows Zhao's after him now too. He must really care about Iroh to allow this as easily as he does, to be honest. You know, so I think that care goes both ways in this particular interaction.
Yeah, he lets it happen, but he sort of has a little tantrum.
Mm-hmm. He hits us with his fire breath.
Is that the first fire breath we've seen?
I think so, yeah.
We've seen his fire nostrils when he was mad in his room, and now he's pissed on the deck, and he breathes fire. Yeah, those little touches where they use bending, to borrow your word, nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. It makes it feel like the world is lived in.
And they spread them out. You very well could have hit us with this fire breath in the first episode. You know, I'm sure that was an idea from the jump, but they're taking their time with it, you know? And I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, my boy.
After that, it cuts back over to Aang and Katara and Sokka. And, they're starting their training on the water. They're splashing around, as Sokka put it. And it's essentially just a tutorial session of Katara showing Aang every move that she knows.
It's a very short list of moves, I'm not going to lie.
Yep. Little short, but, can you blame her? At least from what they've established so far, she's very amateur, to say the least, and has had no opportunity to learn from any professional.
Oh, yeah. It makes sense. It's interesting that they allow their characters to be so weak in the beginning, and they grow so much as they go. These guys all turn out to be incredible at the end, right? But the writers allowed them to start from nothing.
They all kind of just straight up are prodigies. It's crazy.
And each of them develop in their own way in this episode, showing us that they had the potential right now, from early on.
It's cool to have them remind us of her inexperience while simultaneously reminding us of Aang's experience. Right? He is a master, just not in this element. But it makes sense that given his mastery in one element, that he's able to translate it well to another.
I didn't think about it like that. That makes sense. That makes more sense than what I was thinking. Because I was like, oh, he's the Avatar, his past lives, he's got all this practice, he's got the intuition. But no, he's literally a master of airbending already.
Right.
I forgot that he has the tattoos for a reason.
Right. I mean, the past lives within him makes sense too, though.
Yeah. I think it's just a lighter effect than what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's first and foremost, he's already mastered another martial art. And then second, he's got the predisposition within him because of his avatar state.
It's a way to bring on this problem within the episode too, of the jealousy of how easily Aang is getting it compared to Katara as well.
It's crazy. He's such a nice guy. He's so gracious. He's so understanding with Katara.
He does a good job at first. He compliments her for being a good teacher, right? And for the reason that he's getting it so quickly. The first time he says that, she's like, oh, well, yeah, that is a good point.
Wow, I can't believe you got that so quickly. It took me 2 months to learn that move.
Well, you had to figure it out all on your own. I'm lucky enough to have a great teacher.
Thanks.
This interaction between them prompts Aang to say the things that he says in order to avoid hurting Katara's feelings. That is also a job of an avatar, to make sure that everybody's happy.
To broach peace.
Right.
Between all.
I think viewing the show at such a young age and seeing Aang just find success with the way he did it, I think it influenced the way that I interact with people and manage their feelings, honestly.
Well, it didn't impact me. The training session with Katara ends after Aang instantly creates a gigantic wave and washes away all their supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm not going to lie, that's devastating.
It definitely is.
That's all their stuff?
You just practiced our stuff down the river.
That was a good line.
It is good, yeah.
But they take it in stride. I mean, honestly, if I was in their shoes, I might be a little more mad than any of them got. Sokka was annoyed, but I'd be like, what? Our stuff, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We needed that. That was literally that's food and water and weapons, I guess, that we didn't have on us. What are we doing? But I guess that just shows I'm not as enlightened as them, huh?
Well, I mean, Sokka was just in a mood where, and has since entered a state of getting over it. He's like, I guess I'm cleaning the toes, whatever.
So he's just accepting right now. He's like, I'm just with a bunch of goofballs, bro.
Yeah. What have I got myself into? And then Aang and Katara, I'm sure, are just like, ooh, we gotta make up for that mistake. So
I could see myself in Sokka's role, actually. I'm in Sokka's role, and you're Aang. And if you practiced all our supplies down the river, I'd be annoyed, but I'd be like, yep, that's what I signed up for.
And I would be like, yep, let's fix that mistake.
That's pretty funny. I've never thought of myself in the role of Sokka, but I think, honestly, that's the best fit.
Oh, I think part of the reason he's such good... Well, I mean, his character in general is to be a lens through the eyes of the audience because he doesn't have any of the bending abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So often the audience is going to find themselves in his shoes in one way or another. And when they do make it over to the town to start their shopping, we just get this panning shot of so many like ridiculous things. They just like go out of their way to make it seem like we're in this sketchy place.
They had a field day out there with that single panning shot.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'd never noticed it in any other playthrough.
Yeah. It's like fast enough to where I'm like, yep, I got the point. But you were pointing it out when we were watching it.
I was like, what is going on?
We went back and paused it so many times.
There's like this strong woman, like traitor, throttling a dude in the air.
By his collar, yeah.
There's a man with a like metal eye patch and missing an arm.
Yep.
Like, what?
There's a guy with just a cleaver.
Cleaver guy?
Holding it, standing there.
Cleaver guy.
We'll call him Cleaver guy. There's a guy that looks actually pretty normal, and he just looks mean and
he's just chilling
and like mad. He looks just angry. And then there's this like group of people gathered around this guy that's like, who's brave enough to look into this bag?
It's actually pretty funny.
And Aang is like big into it. But after that, they're shopping around, and Aang shows up with this whistle.
Oh, he blows one of their copper pieces.
He sure does, and they are upset about it.
He definitely doubles down on the screw up. He shot the supplies down the river, spent 1/3 of their money, quick maths, and at the very least, he got something good for it.
Right, they're talking about the items again. You know, that item is established in this episode and will be a long-running, useful thing for them deep into the show.
There's a lot of payoff for that whistle.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. If you asked me where he got the whistle from, I might have said he always had it. Seems like a thing that a airbender would have.
Yeah, especially by the way it looks.
Yeah, it looks just like a bison.
Yeah.
Carved from like bone or something.
Right.
Ceramic. It actually looks kind of ceramic. But what are you going to do?
You would think too, with airbenders being extinct, that would be worth more than one, like just one copper piece.
Yeah, well, they think it's just a busted ass whistle.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so does Sokka and Katara when he blows it.
Yep, and they're so upset.
See? Even Momo thinks it's a piece of junk.
No offense, Aang, but I'll hold the money from now on.
When we do get inside that ship, though, we get what to me feels like Scooby-Doo. We get our dark doorway in the background, and the captain just kind of steps through into the room, into the light, and he's just scary looking.
Does look like a classic Scooby-Doo villain.
I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo growing up. Like, besides Avatar, I did watch other shows.
Impossible.
Scooby-Doo actually was just always in our family vehicle in the back with the little DVD player.
I remember that, riding to soccer with you sometimes. You
Yeah,
guys
man.
would have that thing going.
Put on the headphones. We had headphones just like hanging on the handle that you were supposed to grab when like you're going too fast or scared or something. And speaking of items, well, focusing on items and smaller things, the bird on his shoulder.
My favorite item, a bird.
Feels like an item to me, dude. I'm telling you. It's just like a thing that's there and I pay attention to.
The bird was cool. It's like a lizard, a raptor type thing.
Yeah. We then transition back to Zuko and Iroh again. Iroh just keeps being great.
That is handsome. That's caught me off guard. That was hilarious, bro. He looks at the ruby-eyed monkey idol.
Every time somebody says anything's handsome, that quote plays in my head. How excited he was. That word is tied to that quote for me.
I'm so sorry for you.
I love it. I'm happy to get some more Iroh just playing in my head every time.
Oh, that is handsome.
But back to the waterbending efforts. Aang is, of course, crushing it. As we said before, he gets it first try.
Yeah, the water whip is nothing to a guy like him.
Right. And he even just says, like, see? You just got to do this on his first try.
Sometimes your infinite wisdom gets a little annoying. She is fed up.
She just gets in her explosion of rage, similar to how she did in the first episode.
I guess that's true. She gets a little obsessed with the waterbending scroll. Before I was like, this is a net positive. We're chilling. This will help Aang learn a couple actually like tried and true waterbending moves that he could probably employ in the future, and she can learn too. But she immediately becomes so covetous of it.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're kids, and you can overreact to stuff like this.
I would do the exact same thing, definitely. And it's a connection to a piece of her culture that she was never exposed to. She lost it. The waterbenders were removed forcibly from her tribe, and she's always felt like something was missing. This is her first real connection to it on her journey, and it's the reason why she left her home in the first place. Like, the proposition was, come with me, we can go to the North Pole and learn waterbending.
Right. And I finally found a bender that can teach me. But she's in this position where she's supposed to be the one teaching him.
Yeah, she's in over her head. She's frustrated. He's getting it. She's not. And she was supposed to be the waterbender,
I even have an example of feeling this exact way that she does and exploding about it.
Really?
Yeah, when I was, I want to say like 3rd grade, just absolutely freaked out on a kid at recess. We were playing soccer at recess, and I don't know if it was the day I was having or it was just one too many calls that I disagreed with, but he seemed to be enjoying it, and it was only annoying me more and more. I picked up the ball, which was my ball. I brought the soccer ball to school every day so we could play soccer at recess. Just put it in my backpack on top of all my stuff. But I picked the ball up while the teams were arguing about the call and just blasted it in his face, threw it in his face. And he had glasses too. Like,
that's pretty intense.
Like, it was bad. Big mistake by me. I'll never forget it. But the reason I won't forget it is because how horrible I felt afterwards. I spent, after recess was over, like, I walked away, didn't play soccer for the rest of recess, and just sat in regret for the next however long of the day until I saw him again. I guess it must have been at the end of the day, because I had my soccer ball with me and I gave it to him. I was like, I'm so sorry about what I did to you earlier, and I want you to have this. And it was a new soccer ball. I was like excited to have it. It was black, red, and white. I was a big black, red, and white guy when it came to clothes and everything. Nike soccer ball, the one they used in the Premier League at the time. But I tried to give it to him, and he wouldn't take it. But he did tell me that he forgave me and was glad that I made the effort to apologize to him. And mind you, we're in 3rd grade, bro. Like, it was pretty crazy to have these two young men, or little boys, I guess is a better way to put it, like, have this mature interaction.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it was life-changing to me in a way.
Yeah, you learned a lot in that day, huh?
Yeah. Never forget it, man. And it's exactly how this went for Katara.
Oh, yeah. She overreacted, made Aang cry, then kind of overreacted the other way.
Right.
But realized that it wasn't worth reacting in the first place, and that you need to think about others a little more.
Exactly. Think before you do, as my mom always used to say.
That's exactly what Iroh tells Zuko a little later in the show.
Sure is.
You never think these things through.
Oh, I cannot wait until we get to that speech, man.
And we'll get there.
Shoo! We will get there.
So Katara didn't quite learn her lesson, because that very night after she swears off the scroll, she's feigned in and steals it from the pack and goes to practice by the river. Meanwhile, Zuko is trolling the waters and hears a girl screaming to herself about sucking at waterbending.
Yep.
That's crazy. You not only break your promise and go off to practice at night by yourself, you yell the whole time while you're being hunted by pirates. And unbeknownst to you, Zuko.
It's hard, The next day, I hit him in the face with the soccer ball
again,
5 more times.
Couldn't resist, yeah.
No. Oh, man. But to that point, Zuko gets a little key moment here to demonstrate his intelligence again. The captain is trying to get his plan together. Like, should we get a search party going? And Zuko's like, what are you talking about, bro? She's going to be on the water.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, that's a good point.
He's got a little insider information that the pirates don't have because he knows that there's a waterbender and an airbender who needs to learn waterbending.
You're right.
So there is an imperative for them to practice, so it's highly likely they'll take it. And they also don't know the Zuko's on their tail. So they're like, bro, we escaped in the woods. Nobody's finding us.
That's true.
The thing is, I feel like they should figure out that Aang's the Avatar, though, which they're oblivious to until the end.
Well, even Katara being a waterbender, too, because of her clothing as well.
Yeah, I was thinking clothing, but like even still, you can't be sure just because somebody's wearing blue.
Right.
But Aang airbends at them, right?
True.
And yet they don't connect that he's the Avatar, which, I mean, it's not like the Fire Nation is telling everybody, like, the Avatar's back. He's an airbender, you know? So, but they saw airbending, so at least they should be thinking something.
That high-risk trading, it doesn't leave a lot of real estate in the brain for thinking about much else, I guess.
I guess not. And then they have a Fire Nation prince come and, like, form a deal with them. Like, they're really not thinking in this pirate ship.
That's a good point.
Must be all the rum, bro. It's a pirate's life for me. But I'm really glad they didn't figure it out, because it allowed Sokka to demonstrate his excellent ability to plan and come up with ideas in the moment as well.
Yeah.
Because
he really shines here.
They do this trope a lot in shows where you turn short-term allies against each other, you know, in a moment of need. But I feel like it's kind of forced a lot of times. It was like a tenuous truce, and then you just kind of make one of them angry, and then they end it. Sokka rightfully realizes that the pirates are just in this for the money. They want the Waterbending Scroll, as demonstrated by the fact that Zuko's like, I'm going to burn it. Ha ha ha. Do what I say. That sort of stuff. Sokka realizes the pirates only want the money, and Aang is way more valuable than some Waterbending Scroll. So he's like, guys, forget Zuko. You take us. Meanwhile, he's scheming. He's like, we can escape from these pirates, dude. They don't know who we are. We're getting out of here immediately. Aang's not so quick. Aang's not so quick. He's like, Sokka, yeah, you should shut your big mouth.
I'm just saying, it's bad business.
So, great move. Immediately turns the pirates against them.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for them, too, because they're just here. So they won't get fined.
They want that good payout.
After Sokka turns them against each other, they erupt into another Pirates of the Caribbean-esque fight, because they're, like, ensuing in hijinks and chatting during this fight. Aang blows away the wind and then brings it back after realizing he's surrounded by enemies, a classic Captain Jack move.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, sorry, I didn't mean to go here.
When you say that, it makes me think, what type of bender fought what type of bender, and what character fought what character, and I wonder how many combinations they made it through. And for the ones that fight each other multiple times, you know, like all the times Aang and Zuko fought, for example, like they're all in different places where they're utilizing their setting in a way that makes them fight differently. No two fights in the show are the same.
I'm glad we're acknowledging that, because the fights are some of the coolest parts of the show. Keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
And the fights are motivated by the characters.
Yes.
Like the fights show the good sides, the bad sides, and how the characters react to different situations, and they react uniquely. Like they think with who they are in mind.
Right.
In battle. They take advantage of the environment. Like Aang uses verticality to escape, slips away through small spaces because he's a small little guy. Zuko uses his firebending to destroy breakable things and get to places, and that's just the beginning. Like, everybody uses it differently.
I like that you're emphasizing the fact that their fighting is because of their character too, because you have classic formulas that are the reason for characters to fight in other shows. You know, a lot of anime will have a tournament arc, which just forces certain characters to fight each other. And the reasons that they're doing it are not because of their character. And we don't get to learn about them when we see them take these steps to harm another character. Of course, while they're fighting, we get to learn about them because of their abilities and Sometimes we have our flashbacks, backstory, whatever it is. But these are all just built in to the show. And it's so cool. A lot of work for the writers, I'm sure.
As we just continue to talk about the show, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to write this show. This is hard work.
Dude, I'm telling you. Once they get away from the fight too, Sokka doesn't even consider that the boat could just be waterbent back into the water.
We need a team of rhinos to budge this ship.
A team of rhinos, or 2 waterbenders.
We actually live in a world where you can bend water, bro.
And then it allowed them to show the progression of bending and like even how Aang and Katara are making up a little bit in this moment. Katara was really annoyed that Aang was really good. Aang was feeling bad because he was outperforming her. But then Aang reaches out again with an olive branch and is like, I'll need another great waterbender to help me do this, you know? And Katara's able to help him get the boat back in the water. So he's being even more of a leader, I would say. A leader within his group, even though he's the youngest.
It shows his understanding. And once they escape on that ship, we get Iroh's proverb.
Are you so busy fighting you cannot see your own ship has set sail?
Zuko's like, we don't have time for your proverbs, uncle. Oh my gosh. It's no proverb.
But maybe it should be.
And then the captain's voice comes in again, too. He's like, bleeding hog monkeys.
He has a great raucousness to his voice.
It is so very good, yeah.
Yeah, Iroh is on one this episode. He's just telling jokes left and
He
right.
sure is. And Zuko laughs at them for a second, like, haha, your ship was stolen. But then the pirates took his ship, and he's like, wah!
Yeah.
No.
And then they mooned him.
Yeah. They cut away right when they were about
I think
to
I missed that when I was a kid, too.
The writers having a good time, for sure.
Yeah. I kind of thought the episode was over at that point. I was like, oh, yeah, they get away. Really cool. But no. Turns into a boat chase.
Sure does. And the fights continue on the boats, too. Really cool.
Yeah, and Momo's fight with the bird ends here. Because they are competing for the scroll during the smoke fight, doing a little dodging and weaving. And Momo, although I think outmatched in terms of speed and strength, outmaneuvers the bird, uses his acrobatic ability and wraps him up. And he also uses his intelligence.
Absolutely. That is the standout piece for me. And I think their intention.
Those dang mammals. Too smart. Parrots are pretty smart, though. It must be the lizard part of that animal holding them back.
That's tough.
That's really rough for him. They were getting pretty wild with the fight on that ship. Like, at one point, Sokka's fighting 2 guys, and they just pick him up and throw him over the banister. Like, what is that? They just grab him and throw him into the sail.
Yeah.
And then Aang pops in and is like, what was that, dude? And picks one of the dudes up in, like, the craziest air twirl and throws him off the deck.
Yeah.
Like, is this
That was
WrestleMania?
nuts.
What's happening?
Definitely WrestleMania.
And Aang never does that move again.
It was entertaining, to say the least. Katara does the water whip, too.
She learned the water whip. She just needed the right motivation.
I mean, after all, this episode functions to demonstrate their progression in waterbending along with how waterbending just works. We've seen it used in unique ways up until this point, and every way it's used in this episode is new. From here, where we're using waterbending to get these pirates off the ships, we then use it to save the ship from falling down the waterfall.
For a moment or two.
Right, for our push and pull. You know, we mentioned at the beginning of the episode that the reason we're trying to learn waterbending in the first place is because we have this big burden on our shoulders of learning these elements and mastering them by the end of the summer. And this episode starts with, like, yeah, I don't really know what to do. And now, with the practice and these many experiences that they've had throughout this episode, we found ourselves bending a whole ship at the top of a waterfall.
Yeah, that was incredible the way they stopped the ship. Like, Katara's holding up her end, too. They each get half, and she's maintaining a really strong whirlpool.
But that didn't last that long.
Nope.
So as creative as they've been, they've also been sure to make the characters fail. It shows us, yes, they're learning, and although they're finding some success, they're also running into many failures because they're new at this. At the same time, the people chasing them don't care or seem to notice that there's a waterfall and just crash right into them.
Yeah, they can't see there's a giant pirate ship in the way.
I mean, hey, man, as long as they get the avatar, that's all they care about.
I simply can't believe how much the pirates lost in this. They get screwed over by Zuko, don't get the scroll, right? They also don't get the avatar to get the money for him. And not only that, their entire ship goes over a waterfall and is destroyed. And to add insult to injury, their precious cargo is washed down the river, forever lost. Like all the stuff they've collected over the years, where they would sleep, I assume, all their stuff. Like talk about your supplies washing down the river in the beginning episode. It happened again to the pirates. Everything they ever owned, gone.
You're right. Oh,
I can't believe they lost everything. And Zuko didn't get out scot-free either. He lost his little mini ship.
Yeah, his ship within a ship. Our gang fails a lot in this episode too. All of the bad things that happen here are a result of them screwing up.
That's true. A lot of mistakes lead to what happens.
It reveals character too. I'm glad that the writers chose to have them fail as much as they did. Not even just in this episode, but just through the whole show. You know, it's awesome.
That's why I've said it before and I'll say it again. The characters feel too real.
Yeah.
Like they really do. They make their mistakes and they act stupidly and they embarrass themselves sometimes. And it's like, they're so real that for a second, like when I remember that summer we watched it here, I'd like feel all sorts of ways about it and be like, oh man, like it's so embarrassing that Aang did that. Like it would like rock me, you know?
You would ask to just leave it at those 2 episodes for the night.
I gotta digest, bro. I gotta think.
Yeah. We cut back to Zuko and Iroh, and the item for Iroh for this episode was that lotus tile.
The item that started it all.
And he is just giggling over there.
Zuko, you won't believe what I just found. What he
says,
Prince Zuko, you're really going to get a kick out of this. The lotus tile was in my sleeve the whole time!
Throws it off the waterfall.
Zuko does just as I would have hoped he would have done. And throws it down. Bounces off one of the pirates' heads. I would have done the same thing. As they fly away on Appa 2, Katara apologizes. The story I mentioned before about the soccer ball was closed out with an apology too. Makes it feel like her lesson that she needed to learn in this episode. The overreacting and letting the pride and jealousy win was just not the way to go. And she makes that clear.
It's the thought that counts because she immediately snags that scroll back from Sokka when he reveals he saved it.
Yeah.
But she learned her lesson. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Restoring Balance. And remember, stealing from pirates isn't really stealing.
And next time you lose something, just make sure you check your sleeve.
Oh, you know what?
Huh.
You're bad at clapping.
How about now?
Yeah, that'll do.